trust conducts any art, culture, sports, recreational activities, training in sports, What do you mean by the term training in sports? Cricket training, badminton training, tennis training. If charitable trust offers these services, so services by way of training or coaching in recreational activities relating to art, culture, sports, even Bharatanatyam training, Kuchipudi, drawing classes. These are called recreational activities relating to art, chess training, caroms training, so archery training. If these services were provided by charitable entities, they collect per student. If they collect 5,000 or 6,000 per month, it will be exempted from GST. All the recreational activities like dance, music, painting, sculpture, theater, sports, etc. All these activities, theater in the sense drama training. Okay. So here, if these charitable entities provide these recreational activity services, they provide training in dance, they provide training in music, for which they collect per student, they collect 2,000 or 3,000. So charges will be exempted from GST. Okay. Next. Coming to the next one. Sir, services provided to charitable trust will fully be liable to tax. What was given in under exemption? Services by charitable trust is only exempted. That also charitable activities. But services provided to charitable trusts will be liable to GST. Services provided to charitable trusts will be liable to GST. Okay. So coming to the next thing. Services provided to charitable or religious trusts. Sir, if you provide to charitable trusts, any services were provided, it is fully liable to GST. Services by charitable trust, two conditions I have said. It should get registered at 12AA, first condition. Second condition is it should conduct only charitable activities. Then only exemption will be given. But services to charitable trust will fully be liable to GST. Services to charitable trust will be fully liable to GST. Okay. So by that charitable activity, sir, if I have a building, if that building is let out to charitable trust, is it taxable or exempted? Is it taxable or exempted? It will be taxable. Why? Because services to charitable trust will fully be liable to tax. Okay. So now let us continue. Point number 2, agriculture related services. Point number 2, agriculture related services. Let us have a discussion on this agriculture related services now. Sir, whether agriculture activities were exempted from GST. Let us have a discussion regarding this aspect. Yeah. Services, agriculture related services. Sir, cultivation is not liable to GST. Agricultural produce is covered under exempted goods. Exempted goods were notified in notification 2/2017. We are discussing regarding exempted services here, 12/2017. Sir, agriculture comes under goods, no? Agricultural produce, if it is sold, it is an exempted good. But now here I am discussing exempted service. What is exempted service, sir, here regarding agriculture? Yeah, now let us have a discussion. Sir, if we provide any services to farmer ultimately cultivates agricultural produce. That agricultural produce sold in open market is not liable to GST. But now what I am discussing, if I provide any services to farmers, sir, for me, who will pay consideration now? Farmers will pay consideration. So on farmers can we levy GST? Sir, we are not doing agriculture. We are providing services to farmer to make him to conduct agriculture. If we directly do agriculture and sell agricultural produce, it is exempted good. But now we are discussing agriculture related services. Sir, here from point number A to point number G, we are learning 7 services. These services to whom we are providing? We are providing these services to farmer. These services provided to farmer were exempted from GST. We collect consideration from farmers. Such consideration will not be liable to GST. such consideration will not be liable to GST. What are those? Let us have a discussion. Number one, agricultural operations. Point number one is agricultural operations. Sir, what do you mean by the term agricultural operations? You can go through this one. Agricultural operations like cultivation, harvesting, training. So all the activities were being given here. All the activities were being given here. So here, if you observe the things, so in case of agricultural activities, cultivation, harvesting, threshing, plant protection. So all the things were being given here. Okay. So all these services, to whom we are providing these services provided to farmers were being exempted from GST. These services provided to farmers were exempted from GST. Even if we supply labor. So generally labor service is liable for construction sector and all. If we provide labor services, it will be liable. But farm labor, for the purpose of agriculture, if we supply any labor to farmers, farmer will pay 200 per labor per day. Those charges collected were exempted from GST. So supply of farm labor is exempted. Even these services, tending, pruning, these each and every terms you can go through Google, sir. What is the meaning? Everything we can't explain here. Fumigating, curing, sorting, grading. These services we provide. We are not directly cultivating. If we provide these services to farmers, sir, those services were being exempted from GST. These services provided to farmers were exempted from GST. Next, if we provide renting or leasing services, if we provide renting service, agro-machinery, so tractor, I have given let out to farmer and I am charging per day 2,000 rupees rent I am charging. I have a tractor. That tractor for the purpose of cultivation purpose, I have given let out to farmer. So farmer is paying 2,000 rent to me. Whether this 2,000 rent will be liable to GST? No, this 2,000 rent will not be liable to GST because renting, here if you observe, renting of agro machinery will not be liable to GST. Next, loading and unloading, packing, storage or warehousing of agricultural produce. So all these aspects were covered under exemption. All these aspects, loading, unloading, packing, storage or warehousing of agricultural produce. All the things were given here, sir. All these services we provide to labor. Sorry, we provide to farmers. Even agriculture extension services like farmer training. Sir, I am giving training to farmers how to cultivate. And I charge 10,000 per farmer for the purpose of training. These charges were exempted from GST. Next, agricultural produce marketing committee. That means commission agents. Here it was given. Agricultural commission agent. Which commission agent is given here, sir? Agricultural commission agent. So agricultural commission agent need not pay any GST. Exemption is given. Generally on commission GST will be levied. But for agricultural commission agent, exemption is being given. For agricultural commission agent, exemption is being given. So I think the point is very clear here. Now let me continue. All these are agriculture related services. These activities only in a detailed manner I have explained here. If you observe, each and every point is being covered here. Yeah, let us begin. Sir, here services to farmers we have to provide, but it should not alter the essential character. Sir, if we provide services to manufacture potato chips, tomato ketchup, is it agricultural produce? No. Here the essential character is going to get changed. When the essential character changes, sir, then it will be liable to GST. If you observe here, sir, which do not alter the essential character. You provide harvesting, drying, cleaning, trimming, sun drying, any service you provide to farmer, but it should not alter the essential character. If the essential character is altered, then what happens, sir? In such case, it will be liable. If the essential character is altered, then in such case, this will be liable. So what are those aspects? If essential character is altered, like potato chips, tomato ketchup, these will be liable to GST. Processes which make marketable in retail market, even though in retail market also exemption will be given. So rice sorting, tending, pruning, these services will be exempted from GST. Primary market or retail market, whatever may be, it should not alter the essential character. If essential character is altered, it will be liable to GST. Next, warehousing services. Sir, warehousing services of agricultural produce. In warehouse, if the produce is stored, rent charged by the warehouse is also exempted. But warehousing of agricultural produce is only exempted. Processed foods, if we store, it will be liable. Here, if you see, the following are not agricultural produce. If these items are stored in warehouse, whether warehouse will charge GST? Yes, warehouse will charge GST. What are those? Processed tea and coffee, jaggery, pulses, dry fruits, processed cashew nuts. So in all these cases, GST will be charged. In all these cases, GST will be charged. Because only agricultural produce stored in warehouse will only be exempted. Non-agricultural produce, if it is stored in warehouse, it will not be covered under exemption. That's why the clarification has been given there. Now, if we continue the topic, custom milling of paddy into rice. Sir, paddy is an agricultural produce. Am I correct? Yes. But paddy converted into rice. Paddy is an agricultural produce. Paddy is an agricultural produce. But paddy, if it is converted into rice, so in this case, whether exemption will be given? No. Conversion of paddy into rice, it's nothing but a process. Such process job working charges will be liable to GST because the essential character of paddy and rice is different from each other. So milling of paddy into rice, it changes the essential character and hence it will be chargeable to GST. Next. Let me come for next aspect. Yeah. Here there are some more agricultural activities. Sir, for rice, rice is not an agricultural produce, but for rice, in order to encourage rice, since it's a daily consumption activity, loading, unloading, packing, storage, or warehousing of rice. Loading, unloading, packing, storage, warehousing of rice will be exempted from GST. Services by way of loading, unloading, packing, storage, or warehousing of rice will be exempted from GST. For all these activities, sir, rice transportation services also exempted. In GTA, we will learn rice transportation will also be exempted. So, in order to encourage daily consumption activity, exemption is been given. Next, warehousing of minor forest produce. Sir, these entries were given in a notification 12/2017. As per notification 12/2017, what are the aspects that are exempted? We are learning here. So, warehousing of minor forest produce. Sir, sandalwood, it's a major forest produce. Major forest produce warehousing will be liable. Minor forest produce, like any Vanamolikalu or Tamalpaku, like that, minor forest produce, any minor forest produce stored in warehouse, it will be exempted from GST. Services by way of storage or warehousing of cereals, pulses, fruits, nuts. So these are agricultural produce only, no? That's why storage of these items will be exempted from GST. Next, fumigation. In order to remove insects in the fruit, some fumigation process will be conducted. You can go through YouTube if you want. You can type fumigation. That process will be shown there. So, services by way of fumigation in a warehouse. In a warehouse, any fumigation services were provided. It will be exempted from GST. Some gases will be inserted into the fruit. They will spray gases on the fruit so that any insects were there, they are going to get killed. That fumigation process, fumigation services were exempt. Next, job work for cultivation of plants and rearing of animals also. Poultry farming, sheep farming. Sir, in income tax, agriculture means only plants. Animal maintenance, dairy farming, poultry farming. In income tax act, it's commercial activity only. But in GST, poultry farms, dairy farms, they need not pay any GST. Even rearing of all animals except race horses. Race horses maintenance is a commercial activity. Remaining all the animal maintenance also will be exempted from GST. Next, artificial insemination of livestock. That means now for chicks, what they are doing here is for now eggs we are getting. No, sir, we are getting white eggs. Those white eggs are it's natural? No. It's an artificial insemination process. For hen, what they will do is they will give an injection. Within 6 months, it is going to give eggs. Within 6 months, it will grow and give eggs automatically. There is no natural process here. Artificial insemination, they are going to give injection. These are hybrid eggs. Such artificial insemination process, that injections we provide to hens, that services were exempted from GST. Next. So preconditioning, cooling, ripening services which do not alter the essential character of the fruits and vegetables. To fruits and vegetables, you provide any services, cleaning, sorting, preconditioning, ripening, you provide any services. But it should not alter the essential character. If the essential character is changed, I have already explained you, it will be liable to GST. The essential character should not get changed. In any case, if the essential character changes, it will be fully liable to GST. Okay. So coming to the next thing. So we have completed 2 activities. Charitable trusts, when taxability and when exemption we have completed. And number 2, second point what we have completed. Second point that we have completed is regarding agricultural activities, when exemption will be given. These 2 points have been completed. Now let us enter for point number 3. What is point number 3? Educational activities. Sir, education institutes, they may collect a school fee, bus fee, application fee, tuition fee. Sir, just follow me. Automatically you can understand all the aspects. So if education institutes collect a school fee, bus fee, application fee, tuition fee, entrance fee, exam fee, hostel fee, admission fee, fines, penalties, uniform fee, book fee, co-curricular activities like dancing, etc. If they charge any co-curricular activities fees, all the activities of educational institutes were exempted from GST. Education institute may collect any of these fees. All these fees will be exempted. But what do you mean by the term education institute? Not private education institute. They have to provide preschool and higher education. That means up to 10th class. So up to 10th class, schools, if they collect school fee, bus fee, application fee, any charges from the student, everything is exempted from GST. Sir, what about intermediate colleges, sir? Intermediate colleges, even to ICA, you are paying registration fee and all those. Why you are paying? To get a qualification recognized by Indian law. To get a qualification recognized by Indian law. To get a qualification recognized by Indian law. So if you provide any activities, those activities were also been exempted from GST. To get the qualification recognized by the Indian law. Is it clear, sir? Now coming to the next one. This CA education and all, if you make payment to private institutes for coaching, it will be liable. Even to me also, many students make the payment and take income tax and GST classes. It will be liable. It's private coaching. If you make any payment to ICA, it will be exempted from GST. Okay. Next, some approved vocational courses, MESC, Modular Employable Skill Course, Industrial Training Institutes, they provide certificate after the coaching. The services provided by them also is exempted from GST. They collect the fees from the students. That fees will be exempted. So what are the output services exempted we have learned? Now let us compare input services which are exempted from GST. Now let us compare input services that are exempted from GST. Transportation services. Sir, any travels providing transportation services to school, faculty and staff, it is exempted. Sir, these are incomes of education institutes. What are exempted we have learned? These are expenses of education institutes. If education institutes pay any transportation fee, education service institutes receives catering services from caterers. Education institutes receive security, cleaning and housekeeping services, any conduct of examination services, online educational journals. If these 5 services were received by education institute, so now we are discussing input services. If these services are received by education institutes, it will be exempted. Sir, if these services are any other services received by education institute, sir, I have one building. That building is let out to school. Should we charge GST? Yes, it is taxable for all. Any other services provided to education institute will be exempt. Only the services provided by education institute fully exempted. Any services provided by education institute. Education institute means it has to provide the qualification recognized by any law. Private education institutes will always be liable. Okay, next. Boarding schools, hostel facility they provide. Even though they provide hostel facility also, it comes under residential accommodation. Residential accommodation let out for residential purpose will be exempted from GST. Next. Sir, it has to provide recognized by law courses. Any private courses like MSET training, IIT training, if these were provided, it becomes mixed supply. Highest GST will be charged. In such cases, what happens? Highest GST will get charged. Next, incidental auxiliary courses provided like hobby classes, extra co-curricular activities, etc., will also be exempted. Because education institutes, I have said to you, any services they provide, bus fee, school fee, co-curricular activities fee, all will be exempted from GST. Mess or canteen. Sir, if education institutes is having any mess or canteen, tell me, is it taxable or exempted? Exempted from GST. Sir, if catering services were received by school, it is exempted. But catering services received by college will be liable to GST. Catering services received by college will be liable to GST. Catering services provided to school is only exempted from GST. Here is it okay? Now let me continue. Healthcare services. Next activity is healthcare services. Healthcare services provided to schools and education institutes. Healthcare services, not only schools and education institutes, sir. Simply speaking, healthcare services means hospitals. Hospitals services were fully exempt. It may be outpatients or inpatients, operations, treatment, bypass surgery, whatever may be. Healthcare service is required for general public. No, any recognized system of medicines will be exempted. What do you mean by the term recognized system of medicines? Here the list is given to you. List of recognized system of medicines is given to you. So all the recognized systems, recognized system of medicines will be exempted from GST. I repeat, all the recognized systems will be exempted from GST. Yoga, naturopathy, Ayurveda, homeopathy, English medicines we use now generally, allopathy, Unani, Siddha, these are recognized system of medicines. So this recognized system only will be exempted. Any unrecognized systems treatment is given, it will be liable to GST. Any unrecognized system medicines treatment is given, it will be liable to GST. Okay. So coming back to the thing, healthcare services, for example, but some health services will be taxable. What are those? Plastic surgery and hair transplantation. These two activities will be liable to GST. What will be liable, sir? Plastic surgery and hair transplantation. Here, if you see, it does not include hair transplantation or plastic surgery or cosmetic surgery. These are liable to GST. Sir, due to accident, if plastic surgery is done, then it is exempted. Then again, specifically we have to say, general medical defects, any cosmetic or plastic surgery is done, that will be exempted. But here, specifically, if we do any plastic surgery and hair transplantation, that is for luxury purpose, that will be liable to GST. Next. Sir, if hospitals charge room rent for inpatients, it's also exempted. It's part of healthcare treatment only. It will also be exempted. Next. Food supplied to the patients. Food supplied to patients is also exempted because it's also part of treatment. Next, sir, health services provided to animals also. Veterinary doctor. In Telugu we call it as Pasula Hospital. So veterinary clinic services were also exempted from GST. I repeat, veterinary clinic services were also exempted from GST. Healthcare of animals and birds. It was specifically given here to you. So healthcare services of animals and birds will be exempted from GST. Okay. Next, let us continue. Let us continue. Blood bank services were also exempted from GST. Next, rehabilitation professionals. That means they provide counseling services to persons who are addicted to alcohol. They provide rehabilitation professionals. Like we practically see rehabilitation centers. Services by rehabilitation centers were exempted from GST. Next, biomedical waste treatment, hospital cleaning services. Medical waste treatment facility is also exempted from GST. So by here we have completed health services which were exempted from GST. Now let us compare government services. Sir, if government provides these A, B, C services, sir, those are exempted from GST. What are those, sir? Number one, postal services, sir. Speed post, sorry, sir. These are taxable. All other services provided are exempted. Sir, listen carefully here. If government provides speed post services, if government provides speed post services, express parcel post services, postal life insurance, and agency services, these are taxable. Speed post, express parcel post means for parcels, some goods transportation will be called as express parcel post. Postal life insurance services and agency services. If postal department collects telephone bills, if postal department collect passport applications, they charge some commission. That commission will be liable to GST. Postal department providing speed post services, express parcel post services, postal life insurance services, and agency services. These will be taxable or exempted. These will be liable to GST. All other services will be exempted. All other services will be exempt. Okay, sir, but these services provided to government will be exempted. If government only receives any speed post services, that will be exempt. But if local authority and other persons take these services, that will be taxed. Next, if government provides services to vessel or aircraft, sir, in airport, many flights will land. Even in port areas also, many vessels will come. For them, repairs and maintenance, refueling services, if these were done inside or outside the presence of port or airport, like repairs and maintenance of vessel, landing and parking charges, if they collect, it will be taxable under forward charge. That means government will collect charges along with the GST. Next, transportation of goods and passengers. We learn in further topics, sir. Topic number 7 and 8. We have a discussion on transportation services. There I will have a much more discussion. Next, any other services provided. What is the last part, sir? Any other services provided to business entities, sir. Who is the service provider here? Please remember, sir. Here, who is the service provider? Government is the service provider. If government provides any services to business entity, if government provides any services to business entity, so in such cases, if government complex has been let out, in Vijayawada, we have NTR complex, Kalesarav market complex, etc. These belong to municipal authority. If they let out and rent charged does not exceed 5,000 per annum, it will be exempt. If the rent charged does not exceed 5,000 per annum, then it will be exempt. If the rent charged exceeds 5,000 per annum, and if it is provided to person who has GST registration, and it was provided to the person who has GST registration, that will be taxable under reverse charge mechanism. That some of my clients have shops in NTR complex. They pay rent to municipal authority. On that rent, they have to pay tax under reverse charge mechanism. On that rent, they have to pay tax under reverse charge mechanism. In reverse charge mechanism, when we pay taxes, is it a loss? No. Such taxes paid can be claimed as input tax credit again. Such taxes paid again can be claimed as input tax credit again. Let us continue. Any other services provided? Renting of immobile property we have discussed. Other services provided to business entity. Come to next page. Sir, if that business entity does not have GST registration at all, then it is exempted. But if that business entity has GST registration and we pay to government greater than 5,000 rupees, then it will be taxable under reverse charge mechanism. If it is less than 5,000, then exempted. If we make any payment to government less than 5,000, it will be exempted. Greater than 5,000, if we make any payment, greater than 5,000, if we make any payment, in such case, any other services provided to business entities, it will be taxable under reverse charge mechanism. But here is some list, sir. These charges, even though it exceeds 5,000, it will be exempted. These charges collected by government, generally if government provides services to business entity and the value of the service is greater than 5,000 rupees and the value of the service is greater than 5,000 rupees, then it will be liable to GST. But in these cases, even though greater than 5,000 is charged by the government, those are exempted. What are those? Let us have a quick recap. Number one, services by government authority. Sir, what is the difference between government authority and government? Sir, here if I will take APCRDA as example. Capital Region Development Authority has been constituted. What has been constituted, sir? Capital Region Development Authority for the purpose of development of Amravati in development of capital city. APCRDA has been constituted. If APCRDA provides services to municipalities and they collect charges, those are exempted from GST. Those are exempted from GST. Next, services by government authority provided to panchayat. APCRDA providing services to municipality or any panchayat, everything will be exempted from GST. Next, services by government excluding the following. These things we have learned, sir. Postal services, repairs and maintenance of vessel. This I have already discussed. Next, if the business entity's turnover does not exceed registration limit, then also exempted, I have said to you. Sir, less than 5,000 rupees charges also exempted. Greater than 5,000 also some were exempted. What are those? Now we are going to learn here. This old age homes in charitable trust only I have explained this one. Old age homes consideration if it does not exceed 25,000 per month. Old age homes, if they do not charge more than 25,000 per month, then it will get exempted. Okay, coming to the next one. Services supplied by central government or state government or union territory to their undertakings or public sector undertakings. That means guarantees. If a government provide guarantee to public sector undertakings, they charge guarantee commission. They usually charge guarantee commission. Such guarantee commission charged will be exempted. Government collects any guarantee commission from public sector undertakings, that will be exempted. Next, for the purpose of any registration, for example, to get an import-export license, we have to pay 500 rupees charges online to DGFT, Director General of Foreign Trade. To government, we have to pay 500 rupees charges to get import-export license. Not only that one, for any registration under law, if government collects any charges, now GST registration is freely done. But later, if they charge 1,000 rupees or 500 rupees for GST registration, that will also be exempt. For the purpose of registration or testing or giving any license, like fire license, okay, fire license and all, trade license, for all these government will collect charges and those charges will be exempted from GST. Next, sir, to Me Seva, we pay charges for passport, visa, driving license, birth certificate and death certificate. That is also exempted from GST. Next, if we pay any liquidated damages to government, if you want to pay any liquidated damages to government, sir, government has given me one contract. Government has given me one contract and I have not performed in time. And I have not completed that in time. So in such cases, what happens? Government will collect damages from such damages collected will not be liable to GST. for non-performance of contracts. Not only this one, traffic rules I have violated. Government will collect a fine from me. Any fines and liquidated damages collected will be liable, or will it be liable or not liable? It will be not liable to GST. It is exempted. Next. Coming to the next thing. To farmers, if government provides any services like giving water facility or any other natural resources, power facility to farmers. Okay. So in such case, it will be exempted from GST. Any natural resources given to individual farmers. I repeat, any natural resources given to individual farmers will be exempted from GST. Government collects any charges, those charges were exempted. Next, offline hours. Merchant overtime charges will be collected. Sir, in port area, in customs port, during working days and during working hours only, we have to unload the activities. Any holiday, if we want any cargo, in such case, we have to pay merchant overtime charges. Such merchant overtime charges will be liable to GST or not? No, such merchant overtime charges were also exempted from GST. Next, if government collects any royalty, such royalty is also exempted from GST. Next, police or security agencies. Sir, if government provides police or security agency services under reverse charge mechanism, we have to pay GST. What was given here under reverse charge mechanism? Any other services provided to business entity, if it does not exceed 5,000, then again exempted. I have already said. Greater than 5,000, what happens? We have to pay it under a reverse charge mechanism. Okay. Next, labor contracts provided to government schemes. So generally, labor contracts will be liable to GST, but under that scheme, urban mission, all urban mission or Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, for such construction purpose, if we provide any labor to the government, those services were exempted from GST. Those services were exempted from GST. And not only that one, if we continue here, electricity distribution for farmers' agricultural use. This I have already explained to you about. Any resources given to farmers were exempted from GST. Any resources provided to farmers will be exempted from GST. Why? Because we have to encourage agriculture in India, no? Because agriculture is a major basic living purpose. We need agriculture. So that's why services by pure labor farmers for agricultural produce, government provide any services, including electricity distribution facility also will be exempted. Next, pure labor contracts provided to single residential unit will be exempted. I repeat, sir, general private labor contracts will be liable to GST, but pure labor contract provided to single residential house, not complex, sir. Sir, for complex, if works contract is given, it will be liable to GST. Then for what exemption is given here? Exemption is given for a single residential unit. I repeat, for a single residential unit, if labor contract is provided, that will be exempted from GST. For a single residential unit, if labor contract is provided, that will be exempted from GST. Next, if we continue, passenger transportation services. Sir, what is the next topic we are trying to discuss? Passenger transportation services. Sir, means of transport will be 4 types. Number 1, airways, railways, roadways, and waterways. Like this, 4 means of transportation exist practically. So these 4 means of transportation, so how it would be taxable? Let us have a discussion here. Passenger transportation services from outside India to India. Sir, airways, we are going to purchase tickets. So from outside India to India, sir, where the passenger in place of supply chapter we have already learned. There, what I have explained to you, the place where the passenger embarks for the journey will become the place of supply. So from outside India to India, he is coming means where he is going to climb. At outside India, he is going to climb. So it is exempted from GST here. It is not taxable at all because the place of supply is outside India here. Is it clear, sir? Coming to the second part, from India to outside India or within India, if airways facility is used, it might be economy class, it might be business class, whatever may be, it will be taxable. Economy class or business class, whatever may be, it will be taxable. Next, but if government notifies any ports as a regional connectivity scheme in order to encourage some ports, some airports, government will notify them under a regional connectivity scheme. So in such cases, for 3 years, exemption will be given for such ports. And not only that one, to encourage northeastern states airports, any passenger embarking at northeastern state or disembarking at northeastern state, whatever may be, embarking or disembarking, both were specified there, sir. However, if the passenger embarks or disembarks at such northeastern states list I have highlighted there now, sir. In that northeastern states, any passenger embarks or disembarks, that means if he embarks, that means get into flight in that states, or if he departs, that means he is going to disembark in that state, whatever may be, such a flight ticket costs, because those are northeastern states, very small airports, not to encourage them, any passenger embarking at such port or disembarking at such port, in both the cases, exemption has been given. So by that, what we have completed, airways transportation got completed. Passenger transportation through railways, very easy. AC taxable, it might be first class, 2-tier AC, 3-tier AC, whatever may be. Through railways, AC will be taxable, non-AC will be exempted. Simply speaking, the simple line we can conclude. Sir, what about metro, tramway and mono? These are local trains. Local trains are, even though AC is there also, it will be exempted. Local trains are, even though AC is there, your exemption is given. However, transportation through metro, tramway, monorail, these will be exempted from GST. Next, coming to roadways. Now let us have a discussion on roadways. Sir, roadways here I have categorized them into 4 parts. Number 1, stage carriage. Number 2, contract carriage. Number 3, metered cabs or auto rickshaws. Number 4, radio taxis. So 4 parts have been given there. Let us have a discussion one by one. First, stage carriage. Let us take APSRTC as example. APSRTC is nothing but stage carriage. APSRTC is nothing but stage carriage. So RTC buses, if there is AC, then it will be taxable. Non-AC exempted. Next, contract carriage. That means I have booked a car to go from Vijayawada to Tirupati. That is called contract carriage. Contract carriage, tourism and travels, AC or non-AC, always taxable. Non-tourism purpose. That means my friend has given his car on rent to me. It is not his business generally, but due to friendship he has given, and I am paying him 5,000 rent. Is it chargeable? If it is AC, it will be taxable. If it is non-AC, it will be exempted. Here, if you see, AC taxable, non-AC has been exempted. So if it is not for tourism purpose, AC will be taxable, non-AC will be exempted. So stage carriage completed, contract carriage is also completed. Let us come for the third one. What is the third one? Metered cabs or auto rickshaws. Third one that was specified here is metered cabs or auto rickshaws. Sir, autos exempted. Even metered cabs also. Here in AP, metered cabs were not there, but in Mumbai and Kolkata usually, sir, like autos here, their metered cabs will be. That metered cabs, including e-rickshaws. E-rickshaws means general rickshaws only, but through motor power it goes. General rickshaws are fully exempted. E-rickshaws means with some motor power they will take it. While going to Amritsar temple, usually we can see e-rickshaws. Amritsar Golden Temple, they take inside near temple using e-rickshaws. Like motorbike it will be. but backside chassis will be. Those are called e-rickshaws. So metered cabs, auto rickshaws will be exempted from GST. Radio taxis, Ola cabs, Uber cabs, Rapido, if we book cabs there, it might be AC or non-AC, it will be fully taxable. Those are called as radio taxis. Booking through GPS network will always be liable to tax. So I think till here it was very clear to you. Next, waterways. Waterways here, what was specified here is India to outside India to India, and number 3, within India. 3 aspects were being covered here. Let us have a discussion one by one. So first one, if you see, India to outside India, if I go through waterways, the passenger is climbing at India or is embarking at India, so this will be taxed. Outside India to India, if they come, they are climbing at outside India, no sir, that's why it is exempted. Place of supply is outside India, because the place where the passenger embarks is the place of supply. Within India, transportation for tourism, tourist boats will always be liable, whereas government boats, inland waterways and public transport. In Kerala, between the houses, there will be water. So like public transport, they use boats there, not for tourism. That public transport will be exempted, but tourist boats will be taxed. Next. So what we have completed, passenger transportation is completed. Now let us come for goods transportation services. So next activity what we are discussing is whether goods transportation services are exempted. Same here also, goods also we can transport through 4 means: airways, roadways, waterways and railways. So these 4 aspects whether taxable or not, here let us see. Outside India to India, sir, for passengers embarking place is the place of supply, but for goods destination where the goods reaches is the place of supply. So outside India to India, destination is in India, since place of supply in India, it will be taxable. But as per entry number 19, outside India to India, air freight is very huge, no sir, that's why exemption is given. Okay, next, India to outside India, till this date it is exempted. After this date, that means now it is taxable only. Through airways, India to outside India, now it will be taxable. Next, third part, within India also taxable. Within India, if any transportation is done through airways, it will be taxable. Next, sir, which transportation we are learning? Goods transportation or passenger transportation? Passenger transportation is already complete. Now we are in goods transportation, in which first part we have completed. Now coming to second part, railways. Sir, in railways, passenger transportation, I said AC, non-AC. But here goods, no sir. Goods, one list has been given here. Except B and C, because this B and C belongs to goods transport agency. Remaining all points, agricultural produce transported through railways, milk, salt, flours, pulses, rice transported through railways, manure, newspapers, relief materials during floods, disasters, etc. So except B and C, sir. B and C belongs to goods transport agency. Remaining all points will be covered under this entry 20. This entry 20, remaining all the points will be covered. Those items transported through railways will be exempted. Those items transported through railways will be exempted. All other items transported through railways will be taxable. All other items transported through railways will be taxable. Now let us continue with the next one. Roadways. Listen very, very carefully. There is a lot of in-depth analysis which I have presented here clearly. Transportation by own vehicle or leased vehicle. What we need to see here is transportation by own vehicle or leased vehicle. Whatever may be the case, what we charge the freight in this case. Along with the goods, we charge the freight also. This freight, yesterday we have learned value of supply. We have to include in the value. Even though separate invoice is given also, an entire 60,000, 18% GST will be raised. 50,000 goods value plus 10,000, because this 10,000 will be called as incidental. Is it clear, sir? This 10,000 will be called as incidental. So incidental charges will be liable. Incidental charges will be like. Okay. Next. Transportation facility arranged by supplier. That's what I have explained here. Next, private transportation. Only GTA services will be taxable. Courier also will be taxable. All other mode, auto transport, auto freight, rickshaw freight, these are fully exempted from GST. Auto freight and rickshaw freight will be fully exempted from GST. Then what will be taxable, sir? Only GTA and courier will be taxable. Even in GTA also, here some list of items were given. If the freight amount does not exceed 1500, gross freight, 2 to 3 persons I am transporting, sir. Each total freight below 1500 or each consignee, if it does not exceed 750, then exemption is given. Sir, gross 2 to 3 persons I am transporting to Vizag to 2 to 3 persons. All the 3 persons total freight 1200 rupees. It is exempted because it does not exceed 1500. Sir, total freight 3000 rupees, sir. So total freight 2000 rupees, 2100 rupees, 700 per consignee. There are 3 consignees, 3 persons to transport. I am paying 2100. As per this point, it might be taxable. But for each consignee, if it does not exceed 750 rupees, exemption has to be taken. Sir, gross value 1500 is given. If we transport for 2 to 3 people at a time, single consignment not given for all the 3 persons, then aggregate 1500, above it exceeds, it would be taxable. But for each person, if it does not exceed 750, then exemption can be taken. Sir, if GTA provides services to unregistered persons, because GTA services in first session we have discussed, it will be covered under reverse charge mechanism. That's why if GTA provides services to unregistered persons, it is exempted. To registered persons, if they provide under reverse charge mechanism, they are going to pay. So by this road transportation, we have completed. Next, waterways. What is the last one for our discussion here, sir? Waterways. Goods transportation through waterways. How it will be taxable? So let us have a discussion. Let us have a discussion here. Here, if you see outside India to India, what was given in the first point, sir? Outside India to India, it will be taxable. But under RCM, under reverse charge mechanism, importer has to pay GST. But services provided to unregistered persons exempted because unregistered cannot pay under reverse charge mechanism. Next, India to outside India, up to this date, it is exempted. That means now this will be taxable. Next, within India, by inland waterways, then it is exempted. By private ships, entry number 20, if these items are transported in ships, then it will be exempted. Any other items transported will be taxed. So in waterways also, outside India to India freight, how it is taxable and exempted. Within India freight, how it is exempted. India to outside India, how it is exempted. All the aspects we had a discussion. Next, sir, how we can say an entity is a GTA? GTA generally issues consignment note. Once again, I repeat, GTA generally what it issues, sir? A consignment note. It contains weight of the good, place of destination, place of details of goods, vehicle registration number, everything will be given in that consignment. Only when that consignment note is given, then reverse charge mechanism will be applied. Okay. So all the big services we have completed. There are much more services for discussion. Whether banking services for taxable are exempted. Sir, our bank charge any type of interest, P&L interest, year-end interest, additional interest, whatever the name the bank uses, all forms of interest were exempted. I repeat, all the forms of interest were exempted. All types of interest are exempted, except a credit card late payment. If they charge any interest, that interest will be liable. Which interest will be liable, sir? Credit card late payment interest will only be liable. Except that one, all other interest will be exempted. Only credit card late payment interest will only be liable. I think that aspect is very clear. Next, if we continue. Next, if we continue here. All charges, sir, bank collector processing fee, documentation fee, debit card, credit card charges, MICR and check clearing charges. All the charges collected by bank will be liable to GST, except bill discounting charges will be exempted. For advance receipt of some bills, bill discounting charges will be collected. Only those charges will be exempted. All the charges collected by banks will be liable to GST. Next, if banks provide foreign exchange transactions, these points are yesterday in valuation chapter I have explained to you. Two methods I have given based on RBI reference rate or slab rates. Yesterday in valuation chapter we have discussed it, sir. When bank provides to customer or dealer provides to customer foreign exchange, it will be taxable. So in value of supply chapter yesterday in rule number 32, method 1 and method 2 we have learned, sir, that will be taken here. Foreign exchange transactions among bank to bank, bank to registered foreign exchange dealers, registered foreign exchange dealer to bank, and dealer to dealer will be fully exempted. A dealer means foreign exchange dealer registered under FEMA. So transaction among banks and foreign exchange dealers will be exempted. I repeat, transactions among bank and foreign exchange dealers will be exempted. Then what is taxable, sir? Bank to customer, dealer to customer will be taxable. This one also we have separate valuation rules now. Based on that we have to decide. Coming to the next one. Services by RBI. Sir, services to RBI or services by RBI? What was given here? Services by RBI. Any services provided by RBI. Generally, RBI provides services to general public or banks. It provides services to banks. Can I open account in RBI? No. Banks will have account in RBI. Such RBI services have been exempted from GST. Next. Banks, if they charge any interest or discount, it is exempted. But credit card interest will be taxable. Okay. Next. Bill discounting charges will be exempted. Next. Foreign exchange transaction among banks and dealers I have said no, it is exempted. Next, basic savings bank accounts are, if they charge any charges, those charges were exempted. Savings bank account also some charges will be collected by bank. But if that account is linked to Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, some accidental insurance will be covered. Then GST will be exempted there. Next, sir, settlement through credit card, debit card. Sir, if, for example, I have purchased some clothes. 1500 rupees cost, shopkeeper said, and I have given credit card and such shopkeeper has swiped the credit card. 1500 have been deducted from my account. Whether 1500 goes to the merchant bank account, no. Bank will collect some charges, no. The charges will be excluded. Whether such charges collected by bank will be liable to GST. If swiping amount does not exceed 2000, then on bank charges no GST. Sir, swiping amount 5000 rupees, sir. Whether charges will be collected by bank? Yes. On the charges, whether GST will be levied? Yes. Sir, am I clear? If swiping amount does not exceed 2000 rupees, then bank will collect charges in this case also. But GST will not be levied on the charges. But what will not be levied? GST will not be levied on the charges. Okay. Next. IFSC services, International Financial Service Center, which provide services to non-residents. IFSC center, some exemptions were given, but not relevant for examination. Next year, some examples are given, sir. You can go through it. Whatever the topics I have explained above, like credit card late payment interest, is it liable or not? Yes, liable. Those aspects only I have repeated here once again. So you can go through such aspects. Next, just for reference purpose, I have given, sir, not for exam, because what are the life insurance premiums exempted here they have given. And here, if you see, what are the general insurance premiums, like a health insurance, a building insurance, what are some health insurance premiums that are exempted here they have given. Students need not remember these names. I repeat, students need not remember these names. These names are insurance agents will remember. We are not writing insurance exams. Just for reference sake, these names were given, sir. For examination, you need not remember. Let me tell you once again. Here, if you see, some life insurance premiums were exempted, sir. Janasri Bima Yojana, Aam Aadmi Bima Yojana. These are for Which persons? For military persons. Some small insurance policies where maximum sum coverage is only 2 lakhs. In these cases, on insurance premiums, there will be no GST. Yesterday we have discussed endowment policies, first year premium 25% value, further premiums 12.5% value, single premium policies 10%. These all we have discussed yesterday. Okay. So here, some insurance schemes exemption is given. But for exam, we need not remember them, sir, because CA examination, specific schemes will not be concentrated. Same in case of here also, general insurance schemes also, some list is given. This list we want to remember, no need. Okay. Next, some specific bodies, RBI providing services to banks exempted. ESI, employee state insurance, providing services to employees. On provident fund, no GST. On ESI, no GST. For coal mines, there is separate provident fund. For them, no GST. On pension, no GST. For banks, who is the regulatory authority? RBI. For insurance companies, IRDA. Insurance Regulatory Development Authority. They provide services to insurance companies, that is exempted. SEBI providing services to stockbrokers is exempted. National Center for Cold Chain Development will provide services to cold storages. Those services are exempted. Next, visa services. Foreign diplomatic mission means nothing but visa services. So these are specific bodies. They are big bodies. They provide services. Their services were exempted from GST. What are those names? We have learned here. Next, pension schemes were exempted. I have already said just now. Next, for banks, sir, in order to develop business in rural branches, in rural sector, for banks, there will be some facilitators and correspondents. For banks, there will be some facilitators and correspondents in rural areas. If you see here, I will show you once. So if you see here, rural area branch, I am highlighting here, rural area branch. In rural area, if we have any business facilitators, or to this business facilitator, there are any other intermediaries in entry A. For this business facilitator, if there are any intermediaries, their services were exempted from GST. Because using their services, that banks can develop their incomes. So in rural area, every bank cannot put up a branch, no. So that's why it is very expensive. That's why they take the services of business facilitator. Such business facilitator services were exempted from GST. In order to encourage banking facilities, the business facilitator services were exempted. Sir, in city, if they provide that business facilitator services will be taxable, but under reverse charge mechanism, that means who will pay taxes here? Banking company only will pay taxes under reverse charge mechanism. Next, earlier we have discussed services by government. And now we are going to discuss services provided to government. What are the services provided to government that were exempted? Now let us have a discussion. Pure labor services to a government entity. The government entity means 90% capital is held by government. If 90% capital is held by government, that will be called as government entity. To that government entity, if we provide pure labor services, it is exempted. Sir, not only labor, sir, we are also providing material also. Then it comes under composite supply. In composite supply, if material value does not exceed 25%, then it is exempted. In composite supply, sir, if material value does not exceed 25%, then it will be exempted. Okay. Next, pure labor fully exempted. In composite supply, material value should not exceed 25%. In composite supply, material value should not exceed 25%. Next, ration shops. If the fair price shops means nothing but ration shops. If ration shops get any commission or margin, sir, generally what ration shops do? Ration shops supply food to general public. If ration shops supply food to general public, what is the income to the ration shop? Ration shop will get commission. For them, government will supply. So what ration shops will receive here? Commission. such a commission will be exempted. I repeat, such a commission will be exempted. Such commission or margin will be exempted. Okay, next. Sir, government to government service, government receives any insurance services. To government employees, if government pays any insurance, that premium will be exempted. Any insurance service provided to government will be exempted. Next. Government, if they conduct any training program and if we pay any charges to them, those charges were exempted. Next, services by GSTN. 25 software engineers. Infosys has taken this contract for developing GST website. So government will pay charges to Infosys, Goods and Service Tax Network. Is it taxable? No, it is exempted from GST. Specific exemption is given. Next, leasing services. Regarding real estate, we'll have a separate session. Next, regarding legal services, sir, from my point of view, lawyer need not get any GST registration because this chart clarifies all of your doubts. If you see, if lawyer provides services to central government, state government, union territory, local authority, government authority, or government entity. Government authority and government entity means 90% capital is held by the government. Okay. So if lawyer provides services to them, it is fully exempted. Sir, is it clear to you? If lawyer provides services to central government, state government, union territory, local authority, or government entity, so lawyer charges any fees, it is fully exempted. If lawyer provides services to business entities, I repeat, if lawyer provides services to whom? Business entity. Under business entity term is below registration limit, then again exempt. If the business entity greater than registration limit, then it will be taxable under RC. So that's why lawyer need not get registration at all, because if lawyer provides services to business entities, if that business entity does not have GST registration, it is exempted. If the business entity has GST registration, RCM will be applicable. So that's why lawyer need not have registration at all. To other than business entity, any personal diverse cases, brothers land disputes, so such cases dealt by advocate is also exempted from GST. So lawyer providing services to business entities only will be taxable. That also under reverse charge mechanism. So lawyer need not get any GST registration. Next, fourth point, lawyer providing services to advocates. Services among advocates, sir. Senior advocate to junior advocate. What do you mean by term senior advocate? Sir, court gives recognition. Supreme Court or High